Major Mohammed Ali Shah with us on the broadcast. Major Shah, of course, we'd like to discuss this latest strike by the military junta in Myanmar, but we also know that the instability in Myanmar is now showing its face on the borders of India as well. So this is absolutely a crisis that India also now perhaps needs to look at and handle. How do you think India needs to take any considerations forward with Myanmar, given that there is complete political instability? Major Shah, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Devika.
Right, sir. We're discussing the airstrike by the military junta in Myanmar. Of course, many lives have been lost. This is not the first, perhaps not going to be the last, but we've also realized now the ugly face of political instability in Myanmar continues to creep up on India's borders in the northeast as well. We've seen the increase in influx of drugs. We've seen the increase in influx of arms and ammunition, especially now in Manipur. How is it you feel India now needs to deal with the situation in Myanmar?
See, firstly, we have to seal the borders at the earliest, which I think we have already taken a step towards that, perhaps. The entire 398-kilometer stretch has to be sealed completely. Secondly, I think we have advanced towards biometrics of people coming into from Myanmar into India. So that's a very, very good idea. Now, the very fact is, the military junta did an airstrike where there were several children, including infants, who were killed. Now, there is a line which I have always used while serving in the army as well, which says, "No militant, dead or alive, is worth my soldier's life." That is for a soldier. Now, here for the collateral damage, where civilians, where innocents, children are killed in Myanmar, it reflects very, very poorly. It doesn't speak well at all. And on the other hand, when you go around killing the civilians in your country, children, innocent children, and they are illegal immigrants from there, from any side, community, caste, creed, religion, anything. See, there's an agreement with Myanmar. It's a very, very friendly pact, very, very friendly agreement that people across the border can come in 16 kilometers deep inside either ways. So people from Myanmar can come into India 16 kilometers deep, and Indians can go into Myanmar 16 kilometers inside without a passport or a visa, just a parchi, just a slip signed by the Gaon Buddha. Gaon Buddha is who? The village Sarpanch. The Sarpanch can give you the authority. So now when that happens, how do you monitor that a person who's coming across is only traveling 16 kilometers deep and not further than that? Whereas a person like you and me, Devika, if we have to go to, say, Manipur for that matter, we would need an RAP, that's Restricted Area Permit, or an ILP, Inner Land Permit. So it would be now, the very fact is the trouble in Myanmar, military junta, the coup that happened in Myanmar, there is a lot of tension in Myanmar. Be it drugs, be it smuggling, be it anything. In fact, if you follow the NH2, right, from Dimapur to Medlifema Ghazpani, and then further on to Kohima Sakama, and then to Mao Gate, Jwaramukhi, and then further on to Senamati, leaving Mantri Pokhri, Dimakong, Impal on the right, heading into Thobel, Kakchin, and then you cross a small hamlet called Surabasti. It's on the right. You bypass that hamlet. Surabasti is the Pangal hamlet, basically, of the Manipuri Muslims. And you go towards Technopal, and then you go towards Panel, and then Technopal, then More. In More, there's a market over there called, the market itself is called More Market, Burma Market it's called. So a lot of smuggled goods, in fact, electronic goods, mosquito nets and such things are actually sold over there on a very, very cheap rates. Now the very fact is, Burma, Myanmar, there is trouble over there. We have to accept the fact there is trouble over there, and it is, and yes, they are people, and it will be unfair to say only the Kuki tribe are relatives. No, from all races, from all tribes, from all communities. There are people who have relatives who are intermarried, there are intermarriages over there, such things that happen. So now the very fact is that border has to be sealed. Indian government has to take a quick step, a harsh measure. Because in order to reach results, you have to take some harsh steps. You've got to take some solid steps. But when that border is sealed, seal the borders. When the borders would not be sealed, then we will keep having this influx, and then we will keep saying, oh, on the hills in Manipur, there's poppy cultivation, such things. Well, let me tell you, a lot of people, I know the Maiti community, they are very well, they are very, very dear friend of mine. They're very good people. Unfortunately, after the viral video, there was a lot of rage and people started speaking about after that. But what happened before that also, when in fact, there were a lot of cases of arson, violence, bloodshed, and a whole lot of things that had gone about. Now, the very fact is, when after that viral video, people start blaming the Maiti community. I think it would be wrong and be unfair to blame the Maiti community for that. Because I know a lot of Maitis who have, in fact, many of them, all of them, in fact, have slammed that. They have rebuked that entire incident that happened, and they were. In fact, as a man, I hang my head in shame. Kuki tribe, again, I think it'll be really unfair to think and to say from a distance the entire hill region, there's poppy cultivation that goes on. See, firstly, poppy cultivation is illegal, and the government has to crack down on it then. And if the state government is not cracking down on the poppy cultivation, and then they are calling people, they're branding a particular tribe as poppy cultivators and illegal immigrants and such things. I think it'd be rather unfair slightly. We got to be balanced. We got to be very, very neutral. We got to think that, okay, by branding a particular tribe, community, caste, creed, and by the same brush in this way, they are bad eggs everywhere, Devika. They are bad eggs in every community, everywhere. I mean, they are. Just yesterday, I had gone on ground zero to New Sona Road. In fact, because we had heard so many stories that violence is breaking up and that. And me being an army man, I am fearless completely. I said, okay, let me see. We had heard stories that they'll stop you at the toll and they'll take your Aadhaar card and they'll kill you and such things. But when I went on ground zero, I found things to be coming back to normalcy. I found everything to be very, very peaceful. I found I'm not denying there was violence that took place even in Gurgaon. Similarly, when you go on ground zero, people are talking all kinds of stories and rumor mongering and fake and fear mongering. That is one thing. The only virus that spreads rapidly is fear and panic. The moment we say, oh, there's trouble there, we don't know. We don't know whether there's actual trouble there or not. But I would hold social media responsible to a large extent. Yes.
Right, absolutely. Thank you so much, Major Shah, for joining us on the broadcast.